All right, we are live. Welcome to another episode of Foreign and Domestic. How you guys all doing out there? Good to see everyone in the side chat so far. We will jump to the one and only Alan B. Pro to get us started off right.
Oh, man, what a week. It's been hot and I'm shiny. Yeah. In usual fashion, we'll go ahead and start off with this. Hopefully, we don't get interrupted, but
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Get rid of this insidious device. Let's see what YouTube says is viewing out there for the participants. There's the YouTube auditor, ate a bowl of dicks. Andy 79 Z28, bearded CB82. Big Al, Chris 338, Edward Petty, Insight Freedom, Jerry Parker. Got Kingpin out there, Lakeview Outdoors, Mystic Guns jumping in, Six Shooter Texan, Tex I Can, Alaskan One Andy. Yeah, there's a number of them jumping in out there. Burnaby Sanchez, Ozzy Osbourne out there. I'm amazed you can still do concerts, sir. Yeah, as for the YouTube listing, that's what it's showing. I am seeing Rich White as well. Always good to have Rich. Ghost Rider jumping in. Good. One of the best Instagrammers I know, Razor JB. Lakeview Outdoors, if I hadn't said it already, Lever Guns 50. Yep. Side chat is already hopping. 67 Rebel. Yep. We're getting it going off from the get-go.
Absolutely awesome. Battle Bean, how you doing, man?
Oh, I'm fucking toasty, man. It's been fucking 100 degrees in the past fucking 2 weeks and shit. Feel like a raisin, you know? I feel like the California raisins. I heard it through the grapevine. I'm just kidding. Anyways, yeah, man, I'm doing all right, hanging in there. It's been so fucking hot. I don't want to go to the range. And you're gonna say, well, quit being a bitch. I'm like, you know what? Fuck you, because I've done 3 deployments to Iraq and it's 100 some fucking degrees all the time. So I ain't doing that shit no more. All right. That's all I gotta say. Love you. Bye.
All right. We are going to ask how the tan is coming along. People want to know.
Well, you know, my thing is God gave me this tan. But you know, we're gonna make it a little darker and shit, a little more dun 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 bullet. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll be good to go.
All righty. Bald, how you doing, man?
I'm doing excellent. Had a nice weekend. Shot a match yesterday. Shot a match today. I went to graduation party to my shooting buddy's son. Had a graduation party. Had a good food. Met a bunch of new people. Good weekend. Good weekend overall.
Awesome. How'd you do in the matches?
I was second yesterday overall. I was fourth overall today, and the second in the carry optics.
Nice.
Out of about 35 shooters.
Very nice. What'd you shoot? What pistol?
X5 Legion. Romeo 3 Max. 6
You're
MOA.
my hero.
What?
You're my hero. Top 10. Go ahead.
I just don't understand why you just don't go to those matches with a wheel gun, just decimate everybody anyway.
Because I want to get gooder with the optic.
Oh.
He says he wants to get gooder. Oh my God. Are you showing them the ways?
Well, you got to understand, these matches are kind of preparation for the really big matches. We're shooting next month, we're shooting area match. So that's like, you got a lot of good shooters, a lot of top shooters, and you usually have a couple hundred shooters. So you place in the top 10% in a match like that, then, you got something to brag about.
It's bad when the Mexican rubs off on the Russian.
Not Russian, and I'm pretty sure he's not Mexican either.
No, I'm not Mexican, but you know, some of you motherfuckers are geographically challenged, but you know, so Mexico is the closest you motherfuckers know, so we just leave it there. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Slovakia or Slovenia, you know, it's just right there. So we're just gonna leave it there. He's Russian, yeah, fuck it. So he's Russian and I'm Southern Mexican, so it's all good.
Well, at least you know what, you speak the same language as Mexicans do. I don't speak the same language as Russians.
You mean Spanish, you ignorant fuck?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You speak the same fucking language, Spanish.
You
know?
speak Russian?
I do speak Russian, but we don't speak the same language. Slovak is different than Russian.
Oh, Slovak. See,
it doesn't even sound the same.
God,
even
yeah,
the alphabet's different.
2 hours of this shit. I hope you guys are ready for this. If me and the Slovak are gonna go at this shit all day, just go ahead.
I'm gonna have a T-shirt made that says "I'm not Russian."
He will too. He'll probably make T-shirts too. Send a couple out. Says "Stop calling me Russian."
Yeah, I almost bought one that says "I'm not ashamed of myself. That's my wife's job."
Oh, there you go.
Well, they say behind every great man is a woman rolling her eyes. So, speaking of that, JH, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great, brother. Let me tell you about today at the 586 household. It was vacuum cleaner day. So we have 4 vacuum cleaners in our household, none of which worked. So my job today was to get as many as possible fixed.
JH, you know, you are a prime candidate for Mexican 101 housekeeping.
Yep. But, you know, Bald was talking about wives earlier, and I won't finish this joke, but y'all can fill in the punchline. But a wise man told me one time, vacuum cleaners are like wives, and I'll leave it at there. You fill in the blank. Do I need to go on?
No. No, I want to stay married.
So she's in earshot, huh?
Probably not, but for some oddball reason, she's got the ability to hear whatever she's not supposed to.
Yeah, that's fine.
I heard that. I'll kick your
She
ass.
isn't the only one. She could be 3 blocks away at the grocery store and hear you say something.
It's called selective hearing.
Not quite what I had in mind, Ozzy, but I appreciate the effort.
Upgrades.
Yeah, upgrades.
Anyways, since I know a lot of people out there talking about the tan off, the funniest shit I saw this week was watching homeboy do some yard work. I was like, homie was out there like Forrest Gump. I was like, man, that is so nice. You know, he does have beautiful property though. I must admit. Daniel's property is beautiful. I love it. It's beautiful. Mo Gooder, yes. So, but yeah, it was awesome. I really
Mario, once you school him on how to be brown, then you might want to school him on how to garden. Now I could be wrong, because I know he grows a lot of his own stuff, but when it comes to, you know, just general maintenance, lawn mowing and stuff like that, I don't know. I think it was absolutely hilarious watching your play-by-play video.
Oh yeah,
Basically.
I know. It was kind of like when I did the Cranky video. That was more gooder. I laughed my ass off making that video. I think I retook that thing like 2 or 3 times because Cranky is hilarious. You know, because he does that shit. Sounds like motherfucking Crow is about to die and shit. But yeah, man, it was hilarious. And then the play-by-play with Daniel's video was awesome too, because you know the funniest shit in the world is because he fucked up a beautiful Cabela shirt, you know, and then he did the cross thing, you know, he trying to look like Bam Bam Bigelow or like some, you know, wannabe rock star and shit. I'm like, fuck are you doing, man? But it was good, and it's funny because Scotsman was laughing his ass off, and I know he just had his eye surgery, so I'm pretty sure it didn't help any. But you know, he's got to do it, bro.
So, Scotsman, what does it take to get a wrench on your channel?
I just saw Chris's comment. I didn't even realize he didn't.
Yeah. So
Basically,
here's a white guy perspective for you when it comes to cutting your lawn. That is that's serenity for us white guys. I don't know. Maybe you Mexican guys look at it as work. Us white guys, we're away from the wife, we're away from the kids. The only thing that we hear is the hum of the lawnmower. That's bliss right there.
Alan, when you say us white guys, you talk about yourself because I hate fucking mowing.
Because you know the Slovak here, that boy's so pale. You know, I don't see him fucking going out there cutting the grass.
Who's pale, you motherfucker? I got a farmer's stand. Look at this shit.
Oh my god! Look at that. What the fuck, dude? You look like Donald Trump's fucking brother and shit.
It's a farmer's stand, you dumbass. I work for a living. You know.
Dude,
wait till I post a video from next week. All my lobbying freaking work next week. I'm gonna be doing.
Let me see your arm, bro. Show that shit again. No, the other side, fucker. Holy shit, that shit looks orange, bro. Look at that.
That's a shitty camera.
And that's not even the driver's side arm.
No, I got my AC on.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Mr. Leverguns there. When he's talking about that white guy thing mowing the grass, don't count me in on that. Down here in the South, we cut grass basically from March to Thanksgiving.
I need to go to you guys' fucking house, and I need to have like some lemonade and just like watch you guys. Hey, you missed a spot right there. See?
That's why I cut my own grass. If I let my son do it, there's sprigs sticking up, missed spots, and all that.
I'm just messing with you, man.
All right, Mario.
What you showing, man? Let me see what you got, bro. I love the flag. Thank you. It's beautiful. Oh, look at you, man.
Decorative little koi
you got koi fish in that little pond?
Of course.
Man, go ahead. You're a bougie white boy.
Look at all these big ass rocks. I've been stacking all that shit with the new machine.
Hey, did you make it from big rocks to little rocks? Is that what you did?
Yeah, got another one over there. The big ass rock I had to drag over there. In the back, there's the chickens.
Man, that's beautiful property, bro.
Yeah, that's nice.
So I don't really like mowing the lawn. I leave it to my son. And when my son went to college, I went to my daughter and I said, "Congratulations." She goes, "To what?" I promoted to my landscaper.
That's what I'm talking about. Slave driving. Got it.
No, everybody gotta earn their keeps.
We did have somebody else join the chat. I'm not sure if we want to talk to him because he's a cranky old man.
Is that Cranky Cletus? Oh my God! It's Cranky old man. What's going on, Cranky?
Too much news. Too much checking things out. Too much reading stuff today. I'm in a bad mood.
Stop reading stupid shit, man. You always send me all this crazy ass shit. I'm like, hell's wrong with you, boy? You sit all day and read this shit. Like, stop feeding the fucking trolls, bro. Love you, though.
Can I say something gun related here?
Wait, please do.
I need to thank Scott for something. Today I ordered that brass catcher you did a review of. How you say that?
Aegis. So was that the one?
Yeah. Let me
With
tell
too
y'all
too many consonants.
Yeah, it's too many continents. I'm gonna tell y'all why, and y'all can chime in as you feel led. I have the Picatinny rail mounted Caldwell brass catcher. I just wanted the little mount for the rail for 2 more ARs, and I went to order just those little mounts. Caldwell wants $19.99 for that little piece. Since all this crap has happened, so I went and looked at. They said people also searched, and that one that you did the review, and then there was another one. So I clicked on that one. I saw your review, and I'm like, I remember when he did this review, so that lets me know. So I watched it. I watched the review. Not only do you get for $5 more than the Caldwell, just the little adapter thing, the mount. All right, $19.99 for $24.99. I got the whole brass catcher, which looks identical to the Caldwell, plus an extra mount. So
Man, so now you're like Chico status now, bro. Good shit.
No, Chico would have found somebody to get it to him, man.
Or he would have found like some kind of discount code where he could get it for 75% off of the retail price or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
Talking to Chico, he's out there. What's up, brother?
There he is.
Hey, Chico.
But I couldn't believe that Caldwell wants $20. And I don't know if they did that or if the people or Amazon did it or whatever, but since the pandemic hit, anything gun related is 5 times what it ought to be.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, and not only that, for me, it was like, getting that 420 pod, dude, that's like a month and a half of me looking and then ordering it. It was back ordered. And then they finally got it and then they shipped it to me. So I was like, ridiculous. It's ridiculous out there, guys. So I feel you.
We all thank you, Dirt Road.
Yeah, we do. Scotsman, can you put Big Al's comment up?
Yeah, when it shows, there it goes.
No, before that.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so he got 4 of those mounts for $5 a piece. Now they want $19.95.
Go ahead with your best self, man. But you
Yeah,
know what?
they guarantee that it'll ship to you within 1 to 2 weeks.
Yeah, you do make a valid point. I think there's really a lot of retailers out there that are taking advantage of it. Not like cheaper than dirt taking advantage of, but I think they're taking advantage in other ways. They're not having any coupon codes or raising the prices, like sometimes 15 and 20% more than what it used to be. So I see your point.
Well, on the plus note, I just placed a big ass order for the bullets with the Galant bullets, and they were nice. I mean, they told me straight up it's gonna be at least 4 weeks because they had backlogged, but they gave me a nice discount. The guy called me back, talked to me on the phone, and then he's like, "Are you the one who compared the blue bullets to our bullets?" I'm like, "Yeah, I did the video on that." He goes, "All right, so how about we'll throw in a T-shirt and a hat for you?" I was like, "Yeah, appreciate it," but prices were still the same. And in the meantime, to get me over the time, I went to Acme website. I ordered 2,000 of their bullets, and I had them within a few days. So no price gouging over there, but definitely everything is getting scarce.
Well, you touched on something there, Bald, that I really appreciate that some companies are doing. They're just owning the fact that they've got such a demand that it's going to take longer to get your order. And they're just completely owning it. They're telling you up front everything else instead of jacking up the price and screwing you on the time frame anyway. They're not changing their prices at all, but they're owning the fact that yeah, the demand is so high, it's going to take a while.
But there's some companies out there that I don't understand why it takes them that long to fucking ship a press, like Mid Shooter Supply. I fucking order a damn Lyman Lyman press. They had the shit in stock. It was 2 weeks, and these motherfuckers had not sent it. I said, "Fuck you guys!" Cancel the order, and I went and ordered something else from somebody else. I'm like, "Come on, man! Like, I get you. I understand everybody's like, overwhelmed, but 2 weeks, I think is just a little too much for my." And the thing about it is, you call them, they're like, "Oh, we'll get to it, sir." What the fuck? Like, I get it.
There's a lot of companies using it as an excuse. And there are still, you got those companies out there that are still really good. There's a couple of them that I order from. They're still shipping 3 days, and all these other companies are just using it as an excuse left, right, and center.
Yeah, they're saying, yeah, it's going to take a while. It's going to take a while. STAC, and their stuff, they said, yeah, the demand is through the roof, and it might take a little while. And it was at my door within 4 days. I'm like, I'm not going to complain about that in any way. But items like body armor, man, right now you can't hardly go anywhere and buy especially US made body armor and get it in a decent time frame. And some companies are saying 10, 12 weeks on any order that's placed right now because the demand is so high. But they're not changing their prices one iota, and that I appreciate. And I appreciate that the company is up front. They're just straight up front with you. Yeah, it's going to take a while. It's going to take this long to get it to you. Do I like it? No, I don't like it in one iota.
I agree to what you're saying, but to a certain point is I don't agree with it because I know that there's a lot of people out there out of work right now. You mean to tell me you can't start hiring more people and start shipping stuff? I never had a problem with Midway, and Midway the next day this shit's like I get an email saying, "Hey man, stuff's been shipped." That's the reason why I continue buying there. It's sometimes you're paying them more, but I love the fact that I can get an email within 24 hours saying your item has been shipped. And I think if retailers start really looking at that aspect of it and why, certain companies are more successful than others is because they do the little simple things like shipping their stuff to their customers as soon as possible. Just saying, it's a concept,
Now, Midway specifically, I ordered something from Midway a month ago, and it was in stock when I ordered it. Now it says that it's not in stock, and they'll let me know when they receive it.
Yeah, I went through that early on with Scotsman. I sent him something back when we thought he was going to be a citizen way earlier. And I can't remember how long it ended up taking, but it was one of those things where set in stock, ordered it, then all of a sudden wasn't in stock the next day, didn't ship. You probably remember. I don't remember. It was weeks though before it actually shipped out.
Yeah, I think it was close to a month or more. We kept talking about that.
Or sometimes it just, I can't make excuses because I know that every company's got their issues. I know there's people that have had issues with Midway as well. But for the most part, I'll probably say 80% of the time I've never had any issues with them. I don't know, man. I get people. I get the they're overwhelmed, but to a certain point, think about it, Scotsman. When you guys were like during the Obama times, I know you were still working in a gun store. I'm sure that you guys ended up having to hire more people because the fact that you guys were overworked and didn't have enough personnel half of the time.
Oh, I had plenty, man. I probably had the biggest crew I had at that point. That was insane.
Never mind the personnel. There's not enough freaking inventory. I sold a Shockwave to a buddy of mine, so we went to do a transfer, and this closest store, little tiny store, she has like a little alcove. There's nothing but shotguns usually there. She had 3 shotguns. Usually she's got about 50 of them there.
Yeah, I'd hate to be a first-time gun buyer right now because, there's a lot of people who've bought guns that can't even get the ammo for the pistols.
Well, never mind that, because you can't even get a pistol in New York. It'll take you a freaking year to get a permit. So everybody, like I was at the gun store for something else in my gun store, what I usually go to, and I see this guy buying a shotgun. He couldn't decide between a shotgun or 9mm PCC. He had no freaking idea what difference between one and the other is. And at the end, I went over to him. I was like, "Sir, here's my business card. I'm a contractor, but I'm also a famous YouTuber. You're welcome. Bring your whole family. Bring your whole family. I have the place, and I will give you all the training that you need to not shoot yourself in the foot, absolutely free. Just give me a call."
You got balls to say you're a famous YouTuber, really?
Oh, I am. And listen, it got me to a SHOT Show. That means I'm famous.
Lord help us. Can I get your autograph, Mr. Professional Amateur?
I might have to charge you for that.
This motherfucker's I'm gonna charge you now. Crazy ass.
Yeah, do you know how much it costs to run a YouTube channel? He needs the money, man. Come on.
It's not
Yeah,
cheap.
look, Mario, I even went and changed my hat for you, so you're not confused anymore that I'm Russian. But anyway, did you guys watch the 1776 video on the P320 and the lawsuit somebody's bringing?
I actually haven't seen his, but I have seen some of the other YouTube videos on it. Jared over at Guns and Gadgets and a number of others. And, some of these guys are saying I'm not going to carry my P320. I'm not going to carry my P320. So, to each their own, but, Sig did something newish. Now, I could be wrong, but isn't the 320 like one of Sig's very first, if ever first, striker fire pistols?
Yeah.
Could be. Yeah, it probably is.
So was there going to be some hiccups with it? Yes. Did I rush out and buy the first 320 that hit the market? No, simply for that fact. Did I still end up having to send mine in for the voluntary recall? Yes, I did. And I bought mine like 2 years after it first came out. So is there going to be problems? Yes, but in the big scheme of things, I just don't know how much to buy into this.
Well, it's no different than when the Beretta had the M9 or the 92, whatever the hell, FS, whatever. They had the same issue with the frames cracking, and this is when they first came out. So I think every gun's gonna have their hiccups, man.
Yeah, but this guy claims the gun went off while he was taking it out of the holster. So
no, that's just because you're a dumbass and you don't know how fucking. That's just a bad dude to shoot himself in the shirt holster.
It smells way too much like a negligent discharge or something like that, because you're gonna have a hell of a time proving that you didn't cause it, and you're gonna have a hell of a time proving that you didn't tinker with the gun, because there's thousands of these guns out there. I mean, I'm shooting X5, which is essentially 320. It's a SMFCU unit, and I got, Jesus Christ, thousands and thousands of rounds. So does X amount of competition shooters, and nobody ever had an issue like that. So,
well,
I think
there has been body cam footage of police officers that have had problems. One of the officers was literally getting out of his car and it fired in his holster. How this happened is way beyond my knowledge, my engineering ability. But it was on body cam footage. So I have to kind of weigh that with a grain of salt for sure. But a lot of the reports is when people are handling them, people are putting them into holsters, taking them out of holsters. You know, they bang it on something. They do this, they do that.
Well, I mean, see, here's another thing too. A lot of times, you know, for example, there was one guy when I was in Georgia. I found out, you know, when I went to the store one day that someone had shot themselves in the foot earlier that day. Well, they shot themselves in the foot because they had their keys in the same pocket. You know, people are stupid. They do stupid things. Well, it's not to say this guy had something in the trigger guard, in the trigger well there, and you know he moved and it hit the trigger. You know, there's all kinds of possibilities that it could have been. More than likely, he's a dumbass and a negligent discharge, but there's all kinds of options, all possibilities it could be.
Well, I mean, the Army did send a couple of trigger assemblies back to SIG, but they were not because it went off on them accidentally. It was because the actual trigger pull was more than what they expected, and it wasn't just one person shooting it. You know, they had other people shoot it, and they were saying that the trigger was just way too much from what it needed to be. And I guess when they took out the trigger housing, there was something wrong with the inner parts of the trigger, and they sent it back, and they got a brand new trigger system. But you know, I think that's going to happen regardless, man, because it's a brand new gun. You know, even though it went to the trials and everything like that, you got to understand that when they went through the trials and they made those 4 or 5 that were going to be used for those trials, you know, they might have used different components, or they might have used something a little different, you know, just to make sure that they pass those tests. I have no idea. I'm not a firearms expert in that stuff, but I mean, I know that if I want to sell something, I'm going to put the best shit I can put in it, you know.
Well, end of the day, it's just a piece of machinery assembled by the person, so it's only as good as the person that assembles it. You know what? It could happen that something was assembled on Friday. So.
Yep. And a lot of times it's that first shift, second shift, third shift. Who does a better job than the other one?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going again about SIG. I mean, they shut down some of their overseas stuff, and but nothing was affected here in the States.
I think they officially lost a contract, like with the police or something like that, and so they basically backed up on what they were producing in Switzerland. Is that where the production is over there?
I was trying to recall where.
Somewhere like that.
Well,
there's the comment of the evening. There you go.
Look at you. Excuse me. You gotta get a CZ, you know. That's like a cholo trying to do a gun review. ASA, you gotta get a CZ, orale, you know, CZ.
Come on, Mario, you can't spell CZ.
That's right. It's CZ, orale, all the way.
I'm very sorry to hear that, Gorillas and Guns. Very sorry to hear that.
You could do worse.
Hey, isn't that shit made in Turkey?
It is made in Turkey.
Oh, isn't that one of the same? Isn't that made by what's that company called?
Century is the importer, I think.
No, it's the
Genique.
No, weren't you talking about that Scotsman a long time ago? TriStar? Doesn't TriStar make that shit?
TriStar makes a version of it. They're slightly different.
And better.
They make different ones that are essentially the same. They do clones as well.
Got it.
Exactly the same, just better.
So
They're more better.
more gooder. Yes, thank you.
They're more gooder.
Yes. Anyways, cranky old man has to say shit. What's up with you, man? I see you shade. You're looking out shit. Got the aerodynamic haircut going on. Hey.
So,
Well, you can't say anything because you won't let anybody talk.
yeah,
I'm
shut
sorry,
up.
I shut it down.
So what?
Separate them.
What stuff were you looking at that pissed you off today?
Oh God. Well, let's see. We got
Share the love.
Fuzz. We got into Fuzz, and then Fuzz shared that wonderful 48-minute video, which I'm not complaining. I enjoyed that, but it's basically a long-term investigation being revealed that carries a lot of the movement behind all of this stuff on a worldwide level, all the way back to Germany, and the whole scientific community and the birth of the strength of scientific documentation and sharing things through journals and stuff like that. It's an interesting story that ties a bunch of people back into some of this pedophilia ring, where you basically have a way of having things to hold over people's heads that are in power to manipulate them to get what you want out of them. If you haven't seen Fuzz T. Fork's video from yesterday morning, go back and look at it. He has a link to it in his short video, and then sometime when you've got some time, just sit around and listen to it. It's actually a really good documentary of history to current. So if you're not patient, you don't watch the whole thing, fast forward to the last 6 minutes, and you'll basically get a quick run through of the players involved.
Is that a fall of Cabal?
Yeah, it ties in. It ties in some of the big players all the way through to the latest lady that was arrested, the one that was involved in the best friend of our friend who did not commit suicide in jail, the one that was his sidekick that arranged a lot of the young women for him, and to her dad, who was deeply tied into the whole scientific community and the scientific journals and all of this stuff, but it plays all the way through scientists going back to the nuclear era and things that are involved with NASA sending off scientists back to China, and kind of the birth of genetic engineering of viruses. It's a pretty lengthy discussion, but it's well presented, and the pieces tie together pretty neatly. So
yeah. That's like the fall of Cabal. It's a 10 videos. It's a whole series. It's basically like 8 hours worth of watching, but it's well worth watching it.
It's that, and then I've also just on my way back here this afternoon, I was listening to and watching, not watching because I was driving. I was listening to videos from Florida. One of people being kept out of I think it was in Cocoa Beach or somewhere. They're being kept out of a public meeting because they refused to put on masks, and they were voting on mask ordinance, and they wouldn't allow them in the public building. And then after that, I watched one of another restaurant in Florida, but it was a grilled cheese restaurant that was being raided by the Florida ATF, and the woman ended up getting her license taken because I guess people were not wearing masks in her restaurant. I'm just so sick of all of that crap. And if I watch too many of those back to back, I get grumpier and grumpier.
You're not supposed to be wearing masks when you're eating.
Exactly. And she wasn't serving alcohol, so I'm not sure what the Florida ATF had any authority in her restaurant, but she did have a liquor license, which is what they said as they were leaving. They were revoking her liquor license for whatever violation. So, she had a mask on. She was working behind the counter with her mask on. She took it off to talk with them. But there's things like that popping up too frequently now. Of course, I'm tired of the statues being pulled down. I'm tired of the double standard between people who are protesting legitimately about being forced to do things that they shouldn't be allowed to be forced by law to do because it's not law. I'm tired of seeing people get away. What was the first thing? I woke up this morning to the couple from St. Louis had their house raided, guns confiscated, and arrested. They were holding off a mob of somewhere between 200 to 500 people from their house. We all have seen what those mobs are capable of doing. So yeah, it's kind of a building thing. I have to stop every now and then and do something else. If you follow me on Instagram, I literally pressure washed almost the whole driveway yesterday just to get it out of my system. So, there's little things like that are more satisfying to take it off your mind for a while. But if you dig back in again, I get cranky, irritated, and angry about stuff.
Well, next time I need a stuff pressure wash, I'll just get you over and I'll have you watch something.
Hey, I'd come up there just to shoot with you at your super secret hidden location at some time. I'd gladly pressure wash to do that.
You missed when I showed my backyard. You would appreciate that because
I was watching, waiting to get in. I was watching it. That was really nice. That water feature and stuff.
Yeah,
really.
You're the architect, right? A designer.
That's what I do.
Yeah. Well, I have to give credit to my wife. I had nothing to do with that. Only thing I did, I moved some rocks around with the machine, and she's like telling me that one rock was way bigger than the machine could handle. So I had a really hard time moving it to exact position she wanted. But that's rest is all hers. Like she likes to tinker.
And it's really amazing how wives can do this. They can take big giant boulders and move them with their finger. Go, I want that over there.
Yep, pretty much.
Now we're almost halfway through. You want to run through the side chat again? It's blowing up out there pretty good.
Oh, honestly, it has, man. We've gotten all kinds of other people jump in over here. We'll see what the participants list says. Andy's 79Z28, Armament and Axis, Burnaby Sanchez, the Big Al, Fresh Fowler, Fuzz Fork himself out there, Gorillas and Guns, Idaho Rogers, USMC, James Poland, Lakeview Outdoors, the one, the only RTT Guns and Gear, Tex I Can. Man, this thing is just jumping all over the place. Walter Davis, Willie Bulletman is out there according to this thing too. Man, 67 Rebel still out there. I don't know who all else is out there. Man, this thing is all over the place. Jerry Parker still out there. Mentioned Fresh Fowler. The Bearded CB was out there. Yeah, just tons and tons of names out there for sure. Ghost Rider's still out there. Yeah, at some point, I have to stop looking at the all the crap, and I can't listen to it. I've got one particular guy at my work that knows that this pushes my button. So like every day at just the right time, and he chooses the right time to do it. Hey, there's 300 more cases today. I'm like, just fucking quit drinking that Kool-Aid, you dumbass. You just have to step back and not look at it for a minute, not listen to it for a minute. Pressure washing is a great way to do that, man. I'm telling you. That's
the amount of willingness to bend your knee and to believe anything you're told is baffling to me. The same conversation you're talking about with people that bring up that there's 300 new cases just in the last 24 hours or whatever. Every time I hear them, I have to remind them, we went tenfold in the number of tests given per day. We all of a sudden jumped from like 70,000 to 700,000 tests being given in a daily period. That's tenfold. So the positive cases are going to increase. we're not saying that this isn't real. I'm saying it's not as extreme for the big majority of people that it's sold for being. I'm saying that I don't believe that that it's as easy to spread just because of some of what I'm reading as we've been told it is.
And here's the thing too is, and this is the one that pisses me off more than anything. You never hear a single thing about the ones that have survived absolutely no issues whatsoever. All you hear about is the ones that, oh, they were intensive care for this so long and blah blah blah. Let's see the ones that survived.
Well, you have a CNN host, freaking Fredo the Como. He had it. He's not talking about how bad it was that he was dying and all that. He's back to work. So how come he doesn't talk about his experience? Because it's not that big of a deal. I mean, yes, it's different for everybody. I understand that. But it's a virus. Eventually, every one of us will have it. It's just like a flu. It's the same goddamn thing, you know. Essentially, every one of us will have it. It all depends, like how big, how good your immune system is, and if you got something else that's going to mess you up. You know, I have a 75-year-old mother. She's got a respiratory problem, so she's got to be careful. We had her over for the 4th of July, but it was just us, my sister, and my mom. Nobody else, because I didn't want to take a chance. And she knows it, you know. But she's at the point, you know, the flu could really kill her.
Yep.
Well, and at least, you know, yeah, I live in the middle of Iowa, and so much has reopened up, but I find it really odd that one of the only things that hasn't opened up around me is the shooting ranges. Now, doesn't affect me that much. I don't go out to the shooting range unless I have a specific purpose to be at that range. But the ranges aren't still open. You can go inside McDonald's and eat. You can go to the kids' ball games. I'm going to the kids' ball games. And this is really odd too, because now at the end of the games, you know, the kids would walk out and slap each other's hands, anything else. They come out of the dugout and wave their hats at each other. Okay. Whatever.
This nation. I mean, now they're talking in New York, the schools not gonna reopen in September. I mean, first they said they will, but all the restrictions he's putting on, it's not gonna happen. There's no freaking way you're gonna put kids 6 feet apart. You just don't have a space for it. There's no way you're gonna keep kids from playing and not, you know, being social distance, all that bullshit. It's just not gonna happen. You know, it doesn't work. And now if they're gonna do all that internet bullshit again, I want to see if I'm gonna get a refund on my school tax, which is pretty significant.
It doesn't work, man. You can only teach so much from freaking computer, man. What they've been talking about here is about doing 3 days of school, and then the rest is going to be online. To a certain point, you know, it's better than nothing. I just think kids need to get the hell out, because I know parents are getting fucking tired of their shit, and I know parents are going through hell right now. So I think everybody needs a break.
I got a feeling come November, all these things are gonna change, and the freaking virus is gonna go away, or they're gonna come up with some other shit.
Well, and it ultimately derives at what's going to happen during the elections. It depends upon what happens in the elections on if we see normal again.
I really don't like the fact that they keep pushing this mail-in voting bullshit. I can
Well,
just
that's the whole reason that this whole thing came back up again. You know, that all this other stuff wasn't working, so now we're back to let's shut everything down again so that you can't go vote. Now you have to mail in vote, and now we can rig the shit out of it.
Yeah, that's why they're scaring people with the second wave of COVID coming in. You know, of course there's going to be a second wave. I mean,
if you guys haven't watched Narcos Mexico, you need to watch that shit. Just saying.
Yeah, RTT and a couple others shared a video with me on Instagram and so forth. And during the video, the guy makes a very valid point when it comes to the homeless. Okay, homeless aren't keeping social distancing. They don't have they don't have the sanitary needs, they don't have this, they don't have that, but you don't hear about massive groups of homeless dying. You don't see the homeless dying off in droves. And so if you're to believe everything that we're told about it, then why are we not seeing the homeless die off in droves?
Yep.
You're muted, Scott.
I was going to say this report. It was an op-ed piece in the Washington Insider. Says that the World Health Organization announced, and I sent this video around to a few people today, that asymptomatic carriers of the coronavirus rarely spread the virus to others. Rarely. If it's true, we just shut down the nation and drove our economy into recession for nothing. Like many others, I supported the initial shutdowns because I was worried that we knew too little about the coronavirus and who was spreading it, and we needed to prevent our healthcare system from being overrun. Our health experts warned us that COVID-19 spread quickly and often unnoticeably through carriers who might not show symptoms for weeks or perhaps never at all. Add this total lack of mass testing, temporarily nationwide quarantine, it just made sense. But now, on the entire promise of the shutdown is just now being questioned. The World Health Organization came out and admitted that they don't believe that this is easily spread. And as a matter of fact, they use the words very rarely spread by people who are asymptomatic. So that's the premise of all of this, the mask and stuff, is that you don't know. You don't know if you don't have the symptoms, you're still spreading this stuff around. So, there's stuff like that coming out day after day, but it never makes it on national news. They don't talk about that crap on national news unless you're digging through all these different news sources. You never will find this stuff out. So they're able to continue to lead us with these numbers that are, we were talking in Tennessee for the first couple of months. Our Tennessee Health Department had a daily tally, a tracking of the number of people who have tested positive, the number of tests that were given, the number of people who tested negative, the number of people who've been hospitalized. It had age broken into age groups and everything. That all of a sudden disappeared. And here, 3-4 weeks later, everybody's only talking about the number of new positive cases. Why? Because that's a shocking statistic to throw out there if you ignore the fact that we're giving the test at 10 times the number. Before, most of the people who were getting tests were people who were going into hospitals who had extreme symptoms. And now all of a sudden, anybody can drive up and get them.
Not only that,
we've got a bunch of positive tests that are false positives. And we're having people who get tired of waiting, or they can't wait until they get there. They're thrown in the pot as having a positive test just because they didn't wait around to take the actual test. I mean, it's crazy what they're doing with this, and it raises all kinds of suspicion for anybody who has a reasonable amount of doubt about this stuff.
Well, you sent me some things too, and the CDC is admitting and various things out there now that it's not as bad. The numbers are way lower, and it's not going to be classed as a pandemic anymore. Yeah, we still got governors like our wonderful governor here, fucking piece of shit, classifying red zones and all these other zones, and you must have the mask and so on and so forth.
Yeah,
I'm not paying attention to what the CDC has been putting out recently. Why are none of these governors doing that?
We've had the governor kind of take steps in that direction, but not officially do it, and strongly encouraging. But we've had mayors in most of the really big liberal cities. We've got very liberal mayors across the board in our big cities pushing us backwards, taking steps backwards. The mayor of Nashville took a step backward into stage 2 of the reopening of things, which closed down the bars again. It did all of these things that they had made progress into getting into a more feasible economic condition. It backed right back out of it. So things were getting ready to happen, like they were going to start opening theaters back up and stuff. They shut that down. That was supposed to happen July 1st. You see people it probably went to something like 30-40% of the people out in public wearing masks to now I'm in the minority out there. I'm there. There's probably 9 out of every 10 people's wearing a mask right now. And I'm telling you, the 9 out of 10, 60% of them aren't wearing them right. They're wearing them down over their mouth. They're playing with them. They've got them underneath their chin. They're constantly touching them. So it's an illusion of safety at best. And then you've got the ones that are trying to shame and guilt people that aren't wearing them into wearing them. I'm tired of watching people like just basically dog cuss somebody else because they don't care about other people because they're not wearing masks.
I was waiting for it on Thursday. We had a meeting at work on Thursday, and I was the only motherfucker that wasn't wearing one.
Well, last week I shared a little story of a guy that tried to public shame people for not wearing it in a grocery store and got applauded for my comments. But Kingpin had a good question out there. The CDC is studying gun violence, and why is that? And Gorilla and Guns came up with the right answer, and the right answer is so that they can consider it a public health crisis. Why would they want to consider shootings a public health crisis? Well, look what they've been able to do with this public health crisis. What would they be able to do with gun rights if it was all considered a public health crisis? And that's what they're trying to lean towards now. That's the direction that they're going now, is they're trying to make it out like gun violence is going to be a public health crisis, and we need to do something about this public health crisis.
Well, you know what? That sounds like bullshit because Chicago has been a fucking public fucking health crisis for the past 6 years. They ain't done a fucking thing. So if we want to make it a great example, let's start with Chicago. Why don't we start with them motherfuckers? And you know that shit is never going to work there because half of the motherfuckers are packing and they'll be like, kiss my ass. Hey, you ain't doing shit to me or anything like that. You know, my thing is, why is a health organization getting involved in social issues? I don't understand it. And why are we letting that shit?
On the mask,
Well,
right?
you can flip the script on that one too. Why are medical professionals getting involved in whether we open for business or don't open for business?
Exactly.
They have nothing to do with our fucking economy.
Why does everybody listen to one fucking doctor? I know that there's millions of fucking doctors that are just as fucking qualified as Dr. Fauci. But seems to me like everybody wants to just fucking say, oh yeah, let's listen to this one motherfucker here. And he can never give you the right fucking answer. He gives you some bullshit political fucking answer. He can never just be straight. And that's the shit that pisses me off the most about that guy.
Well, there was another doctor that publicly went and said that the masks are no good and blah 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 and whatnot. I think he was from your state, from Ohio, and he's also a senator. And they pretty much threatened to take his license. There was like a big Facebook video on that. But a little trick on a big corporation. Like my son works for a grocery store, so he got chewed out because he told the guy, "Sir, you have to put your mask on. It's a corporate policy." So the guy, I did the whole video on it. By the way, thank you everybody that gave the guy a piece of his mind. But anyway, basically he got called into the office and the corporate guy told him, "Look, from now on, if somebody says he's got a medical condition, we leave it at that. That's it. He doesn't have to have the papers, none of that shit." So basically, you walk into Home Depot and the guy tells you got to put a mask on. You tell him, "I have a medical condition." Done.
No, they can't ask you exactly what it is. They can't. They have no right to.
You know, yeah, but technically you should have some kind of paperwork or something showing you that you have. I had one lady ask me, "Where's my mask?" And I turned around and said, I'm sorry, I can't cover my face while I'm carrying a gun. She's like, "What?" I'm like, "It's a felony to cover your face while carrying a gun." So she turned over, she paid for her shit and left really fast.
Yep.
Yeah,
I ain't never seen
that's
so many
true.
Mexicans in Home Depot look like banditos. That's all I gotta say.
Well, next time I'll wear a mask and get a sombrero. I'll be like complete bandito.
And then just tell me you're from Jalisco and shit.
Well, if you guys watch me on Instagram, I'm gonna go to the store. You know, one of those days, I'm gonna go like this. I dug out old Optimus Prime mask, and the thing's got like a built-in mic, so when you talk, you sound like him as well. I was gonna try it today at the match, but I'm like, there's no way I'm shooting in this fucking thing.
Autobots transform.
Oh, you should have, man. That would have been awesome.
The first day that they instituted the mask ordinance in Knoxville, I carried a pair of panties around in my pocket because if somebody was going to force me, I was going to just throw a pair of panties over my head. Nobody ever said
A video like that. The lady and the guy was walking in a restaurant or something, and they harassed him about the mask. So she had the skirt, or she took her panties off. He put it over her face into the fucking mask into the restaurant.
just as effective as any other one anybody's wearing. Oh, I didn't know I was wearing a thong.
There you go. There's one. Hold on. I hate the lag on this stuff. You get the comment on one place, and then it takes lag, and there it goes. Yep. Go to the bank with a mask on.
Yeah, I have one of those too. That was the first one that I carry around with me, but it itches my face like crazy.
I just have a regular bandana and have it around my neck, and like unless I absolutely have to go to like a Home Depot somewhere, just run in, you know. But next week and a half, 2 weeks, I'll be
Home
cutting.
Depot the only store you go to? I'm just curious.
What?
Is Home Depot the only store you go to?
It's closest one.
Oh, okay.
You know, I mean, there's like a local lumberyard. I go there a lot, and they have a suggestion on the door. We thank you for wearing the mask, but it's not mandatory. They never ask me to wear it. They didn't give me a hard time. And by the Home Depot, they basically had a guy at the door, and you can't go in. They chase you down like, oh, put your mask on. And they kind of led away from that as well. Now if they see you, they'll tell you. But like just like the Scott said, half the people have them on their chin, you know, barely covering the mouth, and like they're not doing shit.
So, Val, I got a question for you.
Sure.
More than likely, the majority of your competition, you've run with open sights. Now you're running with a red dot, right? How different is that? How much acclimation have you had to change to go from sights to a red dot?
Well, I've been playing with the sights before, and also 90% of the guns I have, I run the fiber optic front sight. And the way I set up my front sight, I don't have a 6 o'clock hold. I set it up so the fiber optic acts like a red dot, basically. I put that little red I can see on the fiber optic, wherever I want the round to go. So for me, it's really not that big of a deal, jump from one to another. But I'm also not that much faster with the optic. I mean, I'm getting to the point that I'm probably about 20% faster now with the optic, you know, but it's like not on a consistent basis. Like, for example, yesterday we had the very last stage. And by the way, the guy that beat me at the match yesterday was Mark Reddle. He works for Colt. He's a sponsored competition shooter. He's on TV. And the very last stage was just 7 shots. We had 4 pieces of steel, 4 falling poppers, and like a small, like a 10-inch, and then a big, like a 24-inch, 3 of them in the back. So you had to shoot the 4 of them in the front first, and then engage the 3 in the back. So. And I finally woke up on that stage because I was outside. So he did it in a 5.4 seconds with his 9mm Colt 1911. And I smoked the thing in a 4 seconds flat. You know, so it's definitely better because you don't have to see the actual sight picture, especially on the big steel. All you see is a flash, and you kind of, instead of looking at your front sight and then the target, front sight and the target, you're really just looking at the target and have the dot appear. So if you go fast enough, you really just see like a zoom and bam, bam, bam. Especially if the target's like this big, you don't need to have a precise sight picture. So I think at some point it'll click in your head that, you know what, this is easier, because it's definitely easier, and then it's gonna start being faster.
Do you catch yourself at all thinking rear sight, front sight, or
No.
you've always just been so front sight oriented that it's almost a regular go-to when you punch out?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't really look for the only downside is if you're shooting, especially weekend, when you got a transition from a freestyle to a strong head or a weekend. And it happened to me today. There was one stage where you shot freestyle, and then you had to shoot weekend. So when I went weekend and I indexed my gun, I had to do one of this. I had to look for the dot. I mean, once I had the dot, I kept it from target to target, no problem. It's just that first indexing, but that's something you can address at the dry fire. When I switched to the weekend, it took me a split second to find the dot. It wasn't there. With the freestyle, when I go two-handed, I never had a problem looking for the sight, because it's right there.
So let me ask you this too. Pops made a video earlier. It was a good point too. His red dot died on him during the match. Have you had that happen to you yet, where it's died on you and you just kept going? Are you co-witnessing your sights? How are you doing that?
I haven't had that happen. I'm not co-witnessing my sights because I would have to change the front sight, and I don't know. If that happened, I'd probably just point shoot and try to finish the stage, and then just swap the battery or something.
What kind of batteries do those sites use?
It's just the CR2032 or something like that. Those like a dime size, quarter size batteries.
No, I know what it is. I'm just curious.
So I almost always bring two guns to match. So if something like that happened, the worst case scenario, you lose one stage, then you just go to your backup gun.
Does that red dot, does it have like the regular one, like a channel kind of cut into the back of it where you could align a front sight if you had it at the right height?
That's a good question. I don't know. Let me look.
Wow, you made him get up, dude. That's crazy.
I'll say this. I watched, Big Al recently got the FNX 45 Tactical.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes, I saw a review on it today. It comes with various mounting hardware for the red dots, and it has high-rise tritium night sights, so it co-witnesses right through an optic from the factory. So that's
they did that one right. They really did.
Yeah, it doesn't really have anything.
Okay.
Plus, it has that quarter-inch plate, mounting plate.
Yeah, it would be a really, really high sight.
Yeah, and for me, I don't like to co-witness because it messes with my head, because now you're seeing two reds. So if I had some kind of optic that doesn't need this riser, I would just take the front side off completely.
Yeah, my X-Carry has the Romeo 1, which is a much weaker build for a sight than that is, but it does have a channel kind of cut into the sight itself, so you can. I don't use it lined like that, but I have practiced lining it like that, and I can shoot. It shoots off a little bit, but it would still hit, like an 8-inch plate at probably 15 yards.
My Romeo Zero on my carry gun basically has that. It's not as great, especially when I try to do it all on the black targets, because everything kind of washed out. But yeah, you can do it. Plus, with a small on a short distance. On a short distance, all you can do is look down the slide and you're going to be able to hit stuff.
Yeah. Well, and that was going to be my next question. If you're acclimating yourself more and more to a red dot, is that something that you're going to carry? Do you carry is your carry pistol got a red dot?
Well, one of them does. My 365 XL has a red dot on it. And my 365 SAS got those funky looking sights, which basically is like a red dot as well. So I've been shooting all this crap so much, for me it doesn't matter. I can jump from one to another.
Please welcome my cousin Daniel.
Hey, Vato, what's up?
I hate to say it, but it looks a lot darker.
Yeah, it's because he's got that shadow shit going on over there. I like it.
Is that Cordovan? Did you use Cordovan shoe polish? Is that what we have on today?
Oh,
Kiwi.
heck no. I get a whole lot darker. I've taken the last 2 days off of tanning.
Yeah, I thought, hey man, we're gonna make cousins, eh? What a
So
lady.
you got most of the property mowed down then.
Oh, it's ready to get mowed again. Yeah. Well, at least once a week, got to do it. Yeah, but for all those folks that bet Scotsman. Yep, I'm thinking Mario is a shoe-in. He's sitting in the shade.
I'm sitting in the shade, baby, drinking my lemonade.
I know he's definitely, he thinks he's got it made. He thinks he's got it made. He's kicking back in the shade, but I mean, we're not very far into this thing. And dang, Mario, are you getting nervous?
I don't get nervous, bruh. It's all good, baby.
Hey,
Mario.
don't forget it's got 3 extra hours.
Yep, three whole more hours.
Yeah. Hey, don't forget to wear your lovely Cabela shirt, by the way.
Oh, that old thing. Heck, that thing had stains on it from staining, waterproofing the porch and sanding it down.
By the way, I like your spa. It's very nice.
Oh, that $20 spa, yeah. It's a
Beautiful.
lot easier. It's easier to take care of than them big, expensive $300 ones.
Yes, you just change the water.
Yeah, and it also will fit in many truck beds.
It's a win-win. Yeah.
You can use it for a spa or fill it full of ice and keep all your beverages cold.
See, telling you, man.
And if food gets really hard, you can just drive up and down the highway, throw some roadkill on it, and it keeps that fresh too.
I like it. He said he would use wood stain on his head.
See, here's the thing. I've seen Daniel Dart, so I know. So to all of you that made a bet and I said double or nothing, you all are screwed.
Yeah.
He's definitely
Mario.
got that Colonel Walter Kurtz look going on now. So if we had a night scene, it'd be really hard to see you, just the white of your eyes.
Well, I came home one time and my mom didn't even recognize me until I opened my mouth up and she heard my voice. You ought to see me when I was out in the sandbox. Oh, yeah. That was dark.
I thought you were on the ship.
He look Indian and shit. Thank you. Come again.
Out of 20 years, I spent 11 months and 26 days on a ship out of 20 years.
Yeah. Well,
All the rest of my sea duty was spent expeditionary.
I hope. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So you guys got all quiet. You're just basking in all this.
We're basking in your fucking shoe polish, bro. It's all good.
Ain't no shoe polish on here.
I
All air natural. See, watch. You see that?
Oh yeah. It's coming
Yeah.
out here.
No. That's how you do the test. You push on it, it'll turn white, and then it'll.
I don't know.
Right back out.
What?
I'm going to bed.
Uh huh. Yes, babe.
Yes. She's like, I'm tired of hearing your shit. I'm going to bed.
He's got to take care of the wife.
Oh yeah, that's right. My bad.
You got a question there, Daniel?
Oh, I can't see the chat.
Question is, why are your hands a different color than your head?
Oh yeah, the hands are a lot lighter.
I mean, you look at. There's no melatonin, whatever, in the bottom of the hands, but. Can I have the light back, please? They're admiring my awesomeness tan. Thanks, hon. Oh,
I know she's shaking her head, leaving the door. The room. This fool.
I know we should take up a collection and send either Mario to Ohio or Daniel to California so they can stand next to each other.
I don't think I'd ever want. If I never see California again, I will be happy. I'll die a happy man.
Yeah, if Mario comes out this way, he won't want to go back.
Yep. You'll find out what freedom's like. And well, you don't have no grass out there. Well, the grass that you mow. Okay.
Oh, I don't mow shit. I got a fucking gardener that does that. I just tell him
Mike that does
he
that.
does good.
Oh, wait a minute. You're a Mexican that has a Mexican?
Hmm?
I said, you're
Yeah.
the Mexican that has a
You
Mexican?
know what? I'll take a video so you guys can see it. You guys think I'm fucking bullshitting.
No, you went to Home Depot. We know you know, man.
That's right. I'm the ringleader, fucker.
Mario's the man out there.
I'm making commission, baby.
Well,
Hey,
I don't
10
know about California, but over here, yeah, for me, it's not even worth getting a day laborers. I'd rather pay somebody a couple of bucks more because nowadays they want like almost $180. They only work till 4 o'clock. You gotta buy them lunch. You gotta drive them there backwards. Screw that. I'd rather pay somebody $250, let him show up, bring his own goddamn lunch, and
No, it's something. I've had a fun week of just not wearing my ball cap and just throwing on the SPF zero and going out and doing things. Yeah, see, that's what you call bronze.
This is definitely you. You're Colonel Kurtz. If you would just shave the stuff off your chin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think I've done that impression before.
When you shaved with the Bowie knife.
Yeah, that was a fun night. I only nicked myself once on that. Gotta go outside here. Daniel's on the move.
Daniel, Big Al would like to know how many roofing jobs have you been offered since you just started getting tan?
Dude, I've done two roofs in my life, and if I never have to do another roof again,
What was one of them at the Shawshank Redemption?
hey Mario,
Yes.
where they filmed it,
Yes.
is right down the road from me.
Is it really? You know, that's one of
Yes.
my favorite movies, right?
Mansfield Reformatory, and a lot of the other shots.
So that place actually exists.
Yes, it's
the
the
work
Mansfield Reformatory. We call it Castle Grayskull out here. It's what it's locally known as.
Man, you know, that's my favorite movie, man. That's cool.
The country scenes out there, like where they're digging up, that stone they turned over.
Hudson?
That's Malabar Farm. That's right down the road from me.
No kidding, huh?
They do all kinds of filming here.
That's cool. Yeah, it's beautiful there, man.
Yeah, you come out here, Mario, you will not want to go back to California.
Okay.
you guys ever saw that movie Quiet Place with Krasinski? That's actually filmed down the road from me. The first one was shot like a couple of miles right here from me. They shut the road down for a couple of months. That's where they shot the movie.
All right. Yeah, you know that movie Top Gun?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it too. I always tell people.
Mario, I'm not sure if you knew this, but Back to the Future, the parking lot scene out in front of the mall, that was the La Puente Mall parking lot. My brother and I had snuck out. We watched them taking the fire trucks and watering the whole parking lot down and watched them film those scenes in 3 days. Snuck out every night and watched them do those scenes.
Yeah, I believe it. That was a good. As a matter of fact, I just watched Back to the Future Part 2 today. I love those movies, man, because they don't make movies like that anymore. I mean, some of the movies nowadays are just, I don't get them. It just seems to me like there's more computer animated crap on them than actual live stuff anymore. It's just the craft is gone. You know, like back in the day in the 80s and 90s, you know, they made movies. You know.
So well, they got movies. They got movie theaters open in my neighborhood. So right, catty corner from my place is the city movie theater, and they've got movie theaters open, but there's no fresh movies out. So they're bringing back old movies. Currently, you can go watch Ghostbusters. You could go watch Back to the Future 2. They keep bringing back these old movies and they're playing them in my theater just to have movies to play.
Yeah.
Who watched it in the movie theater when you can stream it for free?
Well, I think it's more of the social aspect of it. And I think it also has something to do with the, other people talking about it when they were little kind of thing, I noticed that our like my kids' generation, they listen to a lot of our shit. Like a lot of our music ends up going to their generation, which is weird.
CD brought it up. Where was Field of Dreams in relation to you?
Where was what?
Alan. Talking to Alan. Field of Dreams. Where in relation was that film to you?
That would be a really good question. I'm not quite sure where that was filmed. It had to be somewhere around me because there was a whole lot of corn in that damn movie.
No, so is Nebraska. Nebraska's full of fucking corn too. Yeah, northeast.
So Bearded CB would know. Yep, 3 hours northeast. So yeah, it was here in Iowa.
It is so flat out that way. It drives me
It
nuts.
says
When I drive
Dyers-
through it.
Dyersville. Where's Dyersville, Iowa?
So does that field still exist, or was it just made for the movie?
They still do tours according to this page. The Field of Dreams movie sites in Dyersville, Iowa. They still have a gift shop. They have the ball field, and you can do tours.
That is awesome.
If you build it, they will come.
That was Jan's theory on the glory hole, wasn't it?
Ooh, dude.
Scott.
Well, he's not cranky. He's just
Mike.
a simple man now. You nasty. You just nasty.
So we went shot a match a couple of years ago. Me and my shooting buddy in 6-Hour Academy, and it's right on the border, not too far from Massachusetts. And this was like 4-hour drive. So we go night before, we take a hotel, we'll spend the night, and while we got there, we go have dinner. So we have dinner. After dinner, they come, do you want a dessert? I'm like, no, I want a bourbon. I want a bourbon. And my buddy, he got himself a dessert, right? So this kid brings over dessert, right? And he goes, I wasn't sure, but I got you 2 spoons if you want to share, right? And my buddy, first thing he does, he grabs a full spoon. He goes, hi, honey, you want some? Oh, like you. And then we think, like, of course, we got 2 guys Friday night by themselves sitting in a freaking restaurant. So, yeah, okay. Close to Massachusetts.
I wish I could quit you. Oh man! Somebody had to go there with the
Marco's got a
broke.
good point. They filmed the Brokeback Mountain behind Daniel also.
Daniel was holding the moonlight behind the tent.
A ring around the room here. Ring around the room. My LC9S Pro is no longer carryable, needs to be replaced. What am I going to replace it with? I'll go around the room here. Cranky old man, what should I replace my LC9S Pro with?
I'm going to say probably, let's say the XL, the 365 XL.
365 XL. Daniel, any idea what I should? It's going to be basically a subcompact, mostly for summer carry. Something small that I can, if I have to be in dress, whatever, dress blues, whatever. What should I get in replacement?
It's going to have to be a compact. It's going to be a CZ-P01 Omega carried in inside the waistband from Harry's Holster.
I mean, I like CZ.
This evening.
I like CZ.
No, I've done videos with my church clothes, and it tucks inside, and the shirt, light shirt, can't even see it.
Yeah, yep. Val, the professional amateur, replacing the little tiny LC9S Pro. What should it be?
365 SAS in the Borai holsters in your pocket.
Oh, another 365, but the SAS, the snag free. Mario Mosen, what you say, sir?
I'm gonna say the Sig P239, 9mm, decent little gun. That's my choice.
Yeah, that's a very damn good option. Yep.
Not bad. Not bad.
The Scotsman. What would be your suggestion, sir? It can't be a wheel gun.
I'm going to say the CG75 Compact. You still got 15 rounds of fun-loving CZ.
Yep. Gotta love the CZ. Gotta love the CZ. Ghost Rider, yeah, there's no way in hell. As much as I absolutely dislike the Glock, no way in hell. A Redbird 491 is saying the Security 9 Compact. That too would be in the price range of the LC9S Pro.
What's the capacity of that LC9? 8 rounds, 7 rounds?
The Compact, I'm not sure of.
Compact is 14-1.
No, the LC9X Pro, the one he's trying to replace.
The LC9S Pro came with a couple of different options. It came with a 7.1 or a 9.1.
So yeah, 365 all the way. You got just about the same size and a lot more capacity.
Yeah, I would say that.
I seen your video on the what do they call it? The SAS sites.
Sexy ass shooter.
Yeah. Yep. And to me that might be funky a little bit at first, but then I was like, you know what? It's not any different than the sight picture that you're accustomed to. If you're accustomed to any kind of fiber optic front sight, that probably isn't going to be really that much different.
Yeah, not to mention this is the kind of gun for really close encounters. You're not going to be taking out a active shooter at 15 yards with that gun.
Yeah, and that's exactly what the LC9S Pro was. It was predominantly just a get off me gun.
Yep.
So are you
So
striker fire or are you going him?
I'm thinking he's a striker fire guy.
Mostly, but I do like my hammer fire guns. I really do. That's one of the reasons why that P07 is so loved. That there's a number of reasons why I like that P07, but that's one of them.
I think you'll like the 75 Compact. It'll fit you really well.
How many rounds is in that one there, Scotsman?
That's 15.
15 rounds plus one in the barrel. Nothing says you're going to die more than 16 rounds.
I don't know. Every gun I own only holds freaking 10 rounds.
Hey, you are breaking the law. You're supposed to have 7.
No, that went away.
I'm just fucking with you.
You can still have 10 round magazines, but you can only load to 7 rounds. That was back at some point. It's yeah. You can't make this shit up.
We think only 7 should be for every New Yorker.
That's okay. I can probably do a lot more damage with the 7 rounds than most of you can do with 14. So
But see, all you need is a shotgun, and you go out on your porch and you point it up in the air and you pull the trigger.
You got to rack it because
We
that
got-
noise will drive them away.
Hey, brother, thanks for stopping in. Hope you're well.
I'm sorry, Bearded. I'm sorry. I just won't carry a 380. That's personal choice right there.
Nothing wrong with 380. I got LCP too, and that little baby gun, I mean, it only holds like 7 rounds or something, but that basically has a single action trigger. That's a sweet shooter. That's something that if I had to, I'll take a goddamn headshot at 15 yards with that thing.
Yeah, I got 2 380s and I got the P238. I like that gun. It's really nice.
Yeah, my wife has 238 rainbow finish.
Yeah, and I also got the Versa. If I think I'm like the Mexican James Bond, I would put that one.
So you'll be like,
We
what?
need to bring that out. We can see
5?
James Bond. Come on. Go
Is
get
it
it.
gold? Is it gold plated? Is it gold plated with rhinestones?
No, I have not bedazzled it yet, but we will.
Yeah. You like it shaken or stirred? No, I want a tequila, brother.
Dude, that is the coolest white boy ever, man. I cannot say nothing bad about 007, man. That boy's cool as fuck. I watch all those movies.
You heard it right here, folks, from the Mexican's mouth. That's the coolest white boy ever.
Yeah. So who's the greatest Bond? Was it Connery?
Connery was definitely number one, but I would probably, to me, the other guy, the more modern Bond would be what's the guy's name? He came out in.
What you're talking about?
He's,
Say
you know
his
the
name.
guy. He's so forgettable.
Yeah, the guy.
I would say Connery first, Roger Moore second.
Roger Moore. He's alright. I still like the newer ones. I don't like the new one they got right now. The blonde kid. Nah. Damn, I can't think of that dude's name. The guy that came out of Mrs. Doubtfire. What was his name, guys?
Pierce Brosnan?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you go. And
This guy?
yeah, I definitely like that dude. Yep, that dude.
Yeah,
That
Pierce
dude.
Brosnan.
That
Yeah.
was the weakest
I really-
Bond ever.
I
To me,
think
no, because you know what? GoldenEye to me is like the favorite.
he tried too hard.
Russian chick to
Too
come down.
hard. He was trying too hard to make it. He wasn't good.
You don't put a beta boy in there to replace Roger Moore or Sean Connery.
I don't know. I kind of agree with the beater. I like Pierce Brosnan. I like
Yeah.
the new ones are way much over the top. He's like a freaking, I don't like the whole.
And I would probably say that the one that I like the most is GoldenEye.
Yep,
Yeah, that's definitely my favorite one.
GoldenEye. That's the one with the Russian girl, right? The satellite. Right?
Mhm.
Yeah, she wasn't that bad
Russian,
either.
she was Slavic.
No, she was Russian.
Fuck it. I'll take it all.
So the consensus is no on Daniel Craig on the newest one. Nobody's really a fan of Daniel Craig. It's the movies are just they're too overdone.
Are you talking about the current one? Like I don't want to sound gay or nothing, but I would probably say he's probably the most fittest guy out of all the Bonds we ever had. But he just doesn't have that personality. You know what I'm saying? He comes out a little bit too arrogant. And like, if you really think about it, James Bond's more of a charming kind of guy. You know?
Battle Bean, you're gonna have a hard time sounding gay. You got Jan on the chat with you, so
Yeah. Bond had that Rico Suave characteristic to him, and Daniel Craig just doesn't have it. In all other aspects, Daniel Craig does a very great job at it, but you can't get past the Sean Connery Rico Suave in that role.
And first of all, don't compare Rico Suave to fucking Sean Connery, man. That boy's smooth, bro. He's like smooth like that fine whiskey, man. Boy's good. I like him. He's just
Rico Suave, is that the guy that does those Dos Equis commercials?
Dude, did you not see that intro that they did for me in eBoomies Locked and Loaded?
No.
You have to watch that. If you want to look at Rico Suave, look at this guy right here. Right here. People who have watched that video know what I'm talking about.
I'm not seeing it. Give me your Rico Suave. Mario, give me your best Rico
No,
Suave.
I don't give that shit away.
Come on.
No,
Come on,
I'm
do
not
it.
gonna do that. They're gonna know what the fuck you doing.
Oh, the wife is watching.
Mm-mm.
Man, you got you
She
close
can't
up
find out
right
his secret
now.
Identity.
No, you have to watch the Lock and Loaded one. That's the one I'm talking about.
There is a magician that does pretty amazing special effects that works with that group there. So you could look like anybody in his hands.
All right. So you already said who your favorite one was. What was your favorite movie out of all of them? Your top three. Give us your top three.
Well, was it Octopussy? What is it called? Octo whatever.
That's
Is that
Roger
what-
Moore.
Was that Roger Moore?
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was a good one though. I had to watch that one with my dad. That was pretty cool. Honestly, I can't think of the ones that Sean Connery did because I was very little. I used to watch him with my dad.
Goldfinger was one of his.
That's probably it.
He was the first one in the big
Yeah,
movies.
Goldfinger.
Yeah.
And I think Octopussy is the other one, and then GoldenEye are my three favorites. That too, yes.
No, that's where it's at right there.
The whole point when we watch it, homie. It's the whole point we watch it. But you had to go there.
I'll take From Russia with Love from my birth year. I think probably my favorite, most recent one, although I will go with it's overdone with the CGI stuff, would be probably Skyfall. But I do like Diamonds Are Forever, then Live and Let Die, both.
So there's one that brings up a good thing. All right, Big Al, who is your favorite Moneypenny? Let's see that one.
I would say other than 007, the other guy that I really liked is Q. Q was always the coolest motherfucker ever.
I don't think that's an answer, but
He said, "Oh no, you didn't."
I'm like, damn, that was a heck of a question right there.
Yeah, but Moneypenny, man.
You know,
Makes
the
it-
only really Bond movie that I can remember is when the one with Jaws in it.
That's Moonraker, I think.
Yeah, Moonraker. I think he might have been in a couple of them, wasn't he?
Yeah, there were a lot of good Roger Moores because I was kind of that was my kind of late elementary, junior high school years with Sean Connery, and every time they came out, you would go to see them at the theater. I mean Roger Moore, the Roger Moore years.
Yeah, we couldn't watch any of those movies. The very first actual American movie I saw was shit. It was an original Alien with Sigourney Weaver. You know, the first.
Oh yeah,
Oh, I thought you meant E.T.
And that was the first one that I saw in a movie theater. And then it was E.T. E.T. actually was, they had it even on TV. You gotta keep in mind there was Iron Curtain until basically '89.
Oh, so most of the time they fed you propaganda?
Oh yeah, it was all Russian movies, war movies, all bullshit like that the whole time. You know, everything was about building the country and helping each other and singing "Kumbaya" and hold hands.
Yeah, that was interesting. They said Timothy Dalton underrated. He had what, like a 2-movie run or something?
Yeah, two.
License to a Kill, I think, was one of his. That was a good one. It's a really good one.
So you know what? I got a question for you, professional amateur, since you were part of the Iron Curtain and all that stuff. How in the fuck did you guys get food? Because that place is a fucking frozen tundra. Like, how'd you guys get like vegetables and all kinds of other shit?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Like, you know, just getting food in general.
What do you mean getting food in general? Let me explain you something.
Explain it to me.
Czechoslovakia, okay?
Because I watched Rocky IV, and that's what I'm thinking.
Czechoslovakia itself was one of the best countries in the communist bloc. We were self-sufficient in almost everything. We had our own food. We built our own planes. We built our own tanks. The troop carriers. We had our own freaking guns.
Oh, calm down, fucker. I was just messing with you.
I'm just trying to explain you. The only thing we had was oil. You know, we had to import oil from Russia, but other than that, Russia was completely different. Even during the communists, you go to Russia, you stand in a fucking line for the meat. They didn't have shit over there.
Okay. So you guys didn't have that problem?
No, I mean, yes, you go to store, you had 2 types of bread, 2 types of freaking butter, 2 types of milk, but it was always there. Okay?
Got it.
You go to Russia, you're looking at empty fucking shelves.
Okay, so why is that?
I have no idea. Because you know why? I tell you why. Because after the World War II, 3/4 of a man in Russia were either cops or freaking army. So the women were working on the farms, running the tractors and whatnot. That's why.
Okay. Calm down, fucker. I can't ask you a question because you get all fucking riled up.
Y'all see Big Al's avoiding the question. He still can't think.
Big Al, the spy who loved me? Wasn't it the spy who shagged me?
Yeah, baby.
I think Big Al's thinking about different 007.
So if you guys ever have the pleasure of meeting Firearms 101, you might have to help him open doors. I'll just leave it there. Yes, I know I'm an asshole. Love you, brother.
Yeah, but he's a colorful asshole.
He's a CZ asshole, so he's likable.
Yeah.
He is now a CZ fanatic.
Well, he got me on the right track. It was late.
Yep.
Who started him on that shit? Was that you, Daniel?
Myself and this guy right up here. We
Oh,
put a
right.
shadow 2 in each hand.
I'm very proud of
man.
where he went. With
Come
that.
on, man. You can't compare Shadow 2 to the rest of the fucking guns out there. I mean, you can't afford a fucking Shadow 2. None of us.
Hey, you know how much he spent roughly, just rough estimate in the last 6 months on CZs. Well, in the last year. Almost 10 grand.
No, damn. Well, I mean, God bless you for it, brother. But you know, here's my thing. I noticed that there is more than one generation of shadows, right?
There is.
Right now, there's a bunch of different shadows you can buy.
No. What I'm saying is that there was an original one, and then they upgraded it to what it is now. Correct?
Shadow 2.
Yeah, and then you got the Shadow line. There's a couple different ones in the Shadow line as well.
The Shadow line started as a CZ custom. The very first one was SPO1 Shadow Target. So it was basically, it came from a CZ custom. And it just became very popular, and they start building from there. That's where the Shadow 2 came. But you can't have that shit in California anyway. It's not on your roster. So
No, it is, fucker. You can get it. I saw it in the fucking gun store, but I'm like, I ain't paying no $1,700. Fuck that shit.
all right, so here's what you do. Here's what you do.
Prices, bro. I'm not doing that.
You get yourself a Grand Power Excalibur.
Oh, God damn it. There you go. I knew this shit. Fuck.
You shoot it, and then you'll be glad to spend $2,000 on a
Yeah,
shuttle.
Our
don't
night
think
is
that's-
complete. We have heard
I
the
don't think that's
word.
on the roster either.
Awa.
I'm gonna drive one of those days to fucking Ohio and kick all your asses with my fucking
You
Excalibur.
know, I want to see that, and you better put that shit on video because I want to see that.
Listen,
wanna see
there's a bunch of video. I'm a standing fucking Farmageddon champion with that fucking Grand Power. Okay.
Grand power.
Not to mention, I'm a standing champion with the fucking revolver there.
Revolver. Got it.
And I got a Scotsman. I got a Scotsman. He can back it up.
He did all right.
Oh.
Hey, who won the 3-gun last time?
Oh, shit
No,
talking
he,
here.
he,
Let's go,
he,
bring it.
he does a really good job, man.
Just because I can't run.
You don't have to run. You just need to shoot.
Oh, whoa, no, I shot.
You know.
No, you go back and watch. Go back and watch some of the other videos. You had Papa's Place. He doesn't run. He did really good.
Hey, you can shoot a steel challenge. There's no running there.
Hey, so what do you shoot professionally? You shoot a SIG, right? Is that what
Yeah,
you
right
shoot?
now it's SIG. But the only reason I'm shooting SIG because the Grand Power has.
Grand Power doesn't make one.
No, they make one with the optic on it, but it's not in the country yet.
Oh.
We're getting along just fine, Big Al.
We're getting along just like guys. We talk a lot of shit, and we go out and do it.
Ronnie, can we all just get
Well,
along?
I'm pretty sure that that PC Bullet Empire did a good job of critiquing the chat.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Hello, shooters and casters. Love that dude, man.
I mean, wasn't a long critique, but
I love Tim because he gets into it. When he gets into it, he throws that little high pitch and shit.
There's Pat with the popcorn.
Love that motherfucker.
He's the best, man. He is the emperor.
That's right, right there.
We gotta invite Yankee Marshall to chat next time.
Oh, I would like to invite Yankee Marshall out to a shoot where we just tie his ass up and leave him in the woods somewhere.
That's not nice. Come on.
Well, shit. I mean, you guys were nice enough to let me come down to the farm that time. That was my biggest fear, that I was going to wake up in the morning tied up somewhere in the woods with nothing but my drawers, if I was lucky.
See, man, white people.
Because I'd always be talking shit.
See, here's the thing: we can invite Yankee, but he'll never fucking show up.
Oh no, he's an asshole. When I called him out, I tried so many times. When I go on the chat, I always throw shit at his face. He never even,
He knows it.
I believe in the early days of the chat, we sent him links, didn't we, Alan? We sent him invites, didn't we? A couple times.
Listen, he's a drama queen. He lives of drama. He always punches up. He never punches down. He always punches up. He goes after the bigger channels, and there's a reason why he's been on the YouTube and he's at 300 subscribers, 300,000, and
But in
he,
reality,
ever since I know him, he was at 250. So his base doesn't grow because he just feeds on idiots.
The problem with that guy, dude, is that he's gonna piss off the wrong fucking guy one of these days.
Yeah,
it's gonna bite him in the fucking ass.
Like I'd laugh if you
when you started talking shit about homie, and he lives in North Carolina and you live in fucking Washington. Yeah, you can talk a lot of shit, but I guarantee you, if that motherfucker was in Washington, you'd think twice about fucking with that guy because he'd probably go over there and drive his happy ass. Or he lived in Ohio or fucking even Oregon or California, he'd probably drive his ass over to Washington and kick your ass. Like, I don't like that motherfucker. I mean, most of the time I can tolerate his shit. The reason why I made that video is because he started fucking with veterans, bro. And like, here's my thing, man. You don't go there. Unless you've been there, you've done that. Like he has, like I have, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? I don't agree with it. Unless you know what I've been through, don't fucking talk about it, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't come to me with this bullshit. Well, I thought about joining the military. I don't give a fuck. That don't mean shit to me, man. It's either you fucking do it or you don't do it. but don't start talking shit about the people that did it.
Yep. You gotta show respect to veterans, especially the ones that have a combat behind them, and especially the ones like Mr. Gunzinger. I'm not praising him, but I know that that guy's got some serious shit, and he never talks about it. And one thing I know is the people that went through really serious shit, they never talk about it. My uncle was in Vietnam, and the only thing he ever said, if he got $1 for every bullet he shot, he'd be a wealthy man. That was all. Never talked about it. Never, and all the experience I got with any people I met that have any military backgrounds, those that talk shit, or I did this and did that. Those are usually fucking cooks or something.
Yeah.
A lot of guys.
The only
guys
reason why I talk about
actual shit, they just buried it down and didn't want to talk about it.
Rear echelon motherfuckers.
the only reason why I talk about it is to help others. Like,
Yeah, but you
ever
don't talk about the specifics and whatnot. That's what I'm saying.
I talk about, like how I can help somebody else, because Lord knows, all of us here in this panel and in the side chat, we all know about, Justin's final mission, all the stuff that's going on. We know that the, suicide threats, it's a real thing, man. It sucks. And sometimes maybe exposing a little bit of what I go through and helping others, that's probably the best thing I could ever do. And no, I'm not just the only one that does. There's a lot of other people that do that shit.
Here's my thing, man. We've talked about Yankee before in the past, and Alan. One of the first times I met Alan was because of a Yankee chat, and we're on there, and Alan asked a question. Well, Alan had to pay money to get that question out there, because apparently you can only ask questions if you pay money. That pisses me off. The second part that pisses me off is he completely fucking ignored it. And all Alan was asking for was a quick shout out for something that was very important to both of us. And that little piece of shit couldn't do it. Now, if you have to be, if you're that cocky son of a bitch, that kind of asshole where you think you have to ask people for money in order to answer a question, I'm sorry. You're just a piece of shit. You're no good in my book whatsoever. You will never see anything over here where I say, hey, you know what? I'm not answering your question. I'm not going to make a video for you because you're not giving me any money. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I deal with like that.
But like what really trips me out is that why do people still listen to this asshole? Like, are they that shallow as much as he is? I don't understand that shit.
It's like a cult. He found a people that are loyal.
So you're saying he's David Koresh?
What?
So you're saying he's David Koresh?
Yeah, probably.
He cartels to a certain beta mindset. That's it. They don't know any better, and once they start learning something, they leave. That's why his subs just stay at level. He might get a spike with all these new gun owners, but yeah, he's.
Well, and that's the nostalgia of him. It's literally just a nostalgia. As soon as you start learning anything at all about him or what his character's actually like, he tries to portray this Yankee Marshal as a YouTube character. That's not actually him. And then he says, oh, but this is actually me, blah, blah, blah. Once people start learning who he actually is and what he's actually about, they unsubscribe. And they get some other freaking idiot in there that just think, oh, well, this guy's quirky and funny, and I'll watch him for a little while, and gains the same subs that he's lost the same way. So, yeah, it doesn't grow. He's got a big channel because people just stop watching his shit and don't unsubscribe.
And I've said this I had a conversation not too long ago with someone else about this. He's essentially a fucking virus. He gets in people's heads to a certain degree, especially newer folks that don't know. Infects them with shit that is a complete waste of fucking time. Never actually shows anything just has a big fucking mouth.
I never seen him shoot anything ever.
Never.
Never. I called him out on it, and he sent me a link. Said, here's a video where I'm shooting. It wasn't. It showed some kid shooting. He wasn't shoot. He didn't shoot nothing.
Yep.
I did see a video of him shooting off of his back deck where he fell on his happy ass while he was shooting. That was basically it. It's the only time I've ever seen him shoot.
You know, the only time I've ever seen him shoot.
Shooting, but you know, he's a whatever. It's like somewhere in the woods, whatever. Like,
You watch professional amateur.
Here's the only time I've ever seen him shoot, and y'all should pay attention to this. He's shooting on live streams into a bucket in his basement.
Oh yeah. He talked about. You know what? I hate to say it, but that was actually a good idea that he had. He keeps a bucket next to his safe, so when he loads or unloads the gun, and God forbid there's an ND, it goes into the sand and doesn't bounce off the walls and shit like that.
Well, yeah, you have a safety bucket next to your safe. That's not an original idea. Putting the information out there, good on him for that. But I mean, it's not an original idea. It's something that he saw somewhere else and
what he's doing.
he made it his own.
The problem with what he's doing is now he's promoting unsafe acts. It's not safe to shoot in the fucking basement.
All right, fuck him. Let's move on to somebody else.
Okay, Mario, what's your best prank you did somebody while on deployment?
What's the best what?
Prank. that you did to somebody on deployment.
This is the shit. We ended up. This is at the time when Amazon was still a little rinky-dinky fucking company back in the day, right? And they had just started fucking mailing stuff to APO fucking addresses. So basically, it's overseas, right? For all you guys. So one of my guys decided to buy a gorilla suit. And the other guy said, well, I got one for you, motherfucker. I'm going to get a banana suit. So these motherfuckers got that shit, right? It's fucking 120 degrees outside, right? These motherfuckers start chasing each other in a gorilla suit, chasing a banana. And oh, by the way, we had the brigade commander. he's like visiting like the area, keeping an eye on the troops. And there goes two fucking dumbasses fucking chasing each other and shit. And basically the brigade commander got a fucking kick out of it. And my platoon sergeant was so pissed off, he had nothing else to say, but he had like that stupid grin because the colonel was like right there and shit. So I'm probably one of the best ones. The other would definitely be when, because we have like these little Motorola's, right? That's how we use them. We used to just do like inner communication within the, not secure or whatever. But whenever we had tower duty, right? Because we have these towers in the FOB or the forward observation base. And we would have our own little channel, right? Mm-hmm. And we called it the Cracker and Bean Dip Show. I'm Bean Dip, by the way. And my roommate was fucking Cracker, and it would get like everybody would tune in. And would like on the Motorola, it has a little beep, go beep, 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 whatever. So that would be a caller. And we kept that shit going for like 2 hours, just talking all kinds of stupid shit just to pass the time. So yeah, that's kind of one of the two things that I kind of remember that was pretty decent, just fun.
All right. So Alan, what's the best prank you've done at work?
Best prank? Oh man, I've done so many of them over the years. It's okay. So way back in high school, we used to mess with this guy's car all the time. He drove a Volkswagen Bug, and we did all kinds of stupid stuff. We pulled his motor out one day, set it on the other side of campus. We had like 5 guys pick it up, put it between 2 trees, But I went out one day and I tack welded his doors shut with the portable welder. And then we just sat off and watched him when he came out to try and get into his car. And you could hear the theme to Benny Hill with him going to this door, going around to this door, going around to this door. It was just watching that I'm dying. It was dying laughing. It was hilarious. And the guy used to get us back. He knew exactly who did it and what we were doing. And he used to get us back. It was pretty funny.
That was me.
One of the best ones that we used to do to new people coming into the shop would be at some point in time during the first week or two, be like, hey, we're running out of this. Can you go down to the basement and get it for us? And you watch them walk around the entire fucking store trying to find the basement. And then 2-3 hours later, they come back. Still can't find it. Where's the basement? And then it clicks. That was always a good one.
Even better. When I was driving long haul truck, we would hire guys straight out of truck school to get into the truck with us, and they'd be running around with us. And the company that I was with was based in California, but whenever we would go out to Chicago, we'd always lay over a night in Chicago. And so we go, all right, we go get the hotel room and we say, go back into the truck. And we drive up to this bar and say, all right, go ahead and go in, get us a table. I'm going to freshen up a little bit and wait till they get into the bar. Well, it was a gay bar. And so we would just sit in the truck and wait to see how long it took for these guys to come out of the bar. Not all of them came out. I'm just saying.
I think Pat wins it, man. You redirect Netflix to a picture of a donkey dick. I think he wins.
The worst thing I did is, and this is how freaking old the Slovakian military is. When I was in military when I was 19, I was basically a radio guy. So they sent me to school for 3 months to learn the Morse code. And back then we still had the field phones. You ever see that, Mario? The field phone with the freaking and you.
Yes, I know. We use those in World War II.
Well, yeah. Well, that thing generates about 120 volts.
Yeah, it does.
So basically, I stole one and put 2 cables to one of the guys because there was like 25 of us in the room. We had the bunk beds, so the guy was sleeping. His feet were sticking out. I put 2 wires around his toes and went. The guy just jumped up. That was the worst thing I did.
You have issues.
It was funny.
Daniel, what was the best prank you did in the Navy?
I got way too many. Way too many.
Oh, come on.
Okay. Oh, first time I went to the sandbox. We had this one young guy in the command. He's from Cuba, and he was a boxer. I mean, he was hardcore into boxer. And anybody that knows about anything about Cuban guys, it's all about machismo, being a man. Well, I always put little grain, if I find a weakness or, a crack on somebody's whatever, I store it away and use it on them later. Well, at one time I found out he was afraid of spiders. And anybody who's been out there in the desert knows about this thing called a camel spider.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. And he's seen that, and he turned pale white when he's seen a picture of them during one of the breeds.
Is it a little one or is it a big one?
Well, they showed a picture of a big one. But what I did is, I had my airmen, I'd say, okay, on this, when we go out there, I want you to have a rubber spider and a rubber snake. Well, we just got in there. We're in the TAD tents, and he heads on down to get a shower because he's going to go hit the club. They had that one rec tent where they had music, and he'd go in there. He's going to meet some women.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he got his stuff, and he headed on out there to take a shower, and I got that rubber spider, and I put it in his boot. and I went out there and sat on the old that big cement wall that surrounded the tents. And pretty soon, one of the other guys see me just up there grinning. He goes, "What's going on?" I let him know. Well, within 20 minutes, you had 90% of the command sitting on that wall, waiting for this kid to come back from the shower. He came back from the shower. All of a sudden, you hear this high-pitched girl scream, and a boot hit the tent flap, and the boot went on out there. And he comes running out that thing, jumped on that wall, screaming and hopping like that. And then he looks over and sees all those people there just laughing his ass, and he just looks right at me. "You son of a bitch, I'm going to get you." Oh, that was great.
Yeah, be careful because Cubans know how to fight. They'll beat your ass.
Oh, yeah, but he owed me. I had to haul his ass to the hospital a couple times when he got cut or stabbed. I was always there for him, especially in his weakness. Of course, I was the guy that always put rattlesnakes in boxes and marked it "Do not open." And we had supply guys that just always get nosy, want to see what was in the box. And they open the box and see a rattlesnake in there. Yeah. That's kind of guy. That's how I roll.
Man, you're mean.
Oh,
You're such a dick. God.
I know it.
Yeah,
When it come to a certain type of prank, they always knew exactly that I had did it. I don't know, because they followed a certain theme. Because out there near the tents where you had to stay, they had those porta pots. And one of the guys, he was an ass the whole day to everybody. He goes towards evening to do his evening business. We're about 40 yards away. I pick up this rock, and I just when he said I gave him enough time in there, and I threw it and I hit it, and had one of the other guys yell, "Incoming!" and that rock hit that thing. That boy made a mess in that thing. Because you should have how loud it was. Just imagine you're inside that thing and a big old rock hits it.
You are such an asshole. God.
I was good at it.
Well, it still is.
He's a little toasty now, but
Yeah. I was a beanie asshole.
Industrial
That's a
electric.
good one right there.
but there is always room for more. Is Cranky Cletus out there still?
I haven't seen him for a little bit. You want to run through the room, Alan?
Yeah, absolutely. It's currently showing Armament and Axis, Bearded CB, the door kicker, Eagle Eye Shooting, Fresh Fowler, Garage Gag, the Gorillas and Guns, Vanessa Kitty. Yeah, I know that's not it because I've seen more than that. But yeah, that's what the participants list is saying. That's just who's commented lately. Redbird 491, Fuzz Fork was out there. Michael Ray. PC Bullet Empire, West Covina Dodge, HNX Media. There's more than what YouTube says. Leverguns 50 still out there. Thorzak's still out there.
But yawning, Mario, you're making me yawn.
Yeah, sorry about that, man. But anyways, let's talk about this tan off, man. What are you planning on doing this week to get yourself looking toasty?
Oh, well, I'm just going to cap it off by a 10-mile canoe. I'm going to kayak down the river.
You're going to be like Davy Crockett and shit? You going to wear your little hat too?
Davy Crockett?
Yeah, remember he explored and shit, had his little fucking hat.
I'm going to be, we shot arrows at him.
Oh, you shot arrows, huh? That's your side, huh? Okay.
Yeah. But no, here's like Johnny Appleseed. You ever heard of Johnny Appleseed?
No.
You've never heard of Johnny Appleseed?
No.
Well, neither did we.
Yeah. So explain who the fuck is Johnny Appleseed?
Well, that was before Davy Crockett.
Yeah.
He's this white guy that wore a pan on his head, and he got apple seeds from the orchards and stuff on the East Coast, and just he was just a young kid and stuff, and just went walking out here when this was all frontier area, and basically started planting apple trees all through the Midwest, especially he was. This is during Daniel Boone days.
Man.
Yep.
So now you guys got freaking apple orchards over there in Ohio.
No, yep. And I mean, the one apple, it's called the apple type of apple. It's called a Jonathan. It's named after him because that's the type of apples that he brought out here.
Oh. Well, see, man, I know.
Let me ask you guys this: any of you ever heard about the movie called Winnetou?
What is it?
What?
A Winnetou.
A Winnetou.
Yeah.
What's that mean in English?
It's an Indian name. It's based of the bunch of books made by Karl May. Well, anyway, my generation and basically my parents' generation, this was like a basically Wild West movies. Okay, it's famous through Europe. You can probably find it on YouTube. Everything was shot in a former Yugoslavia. And the books and the movie, everything is about the Indians and cowboys and friendship and wars and all that. Google it, YouTube it. You trust me. This guy wrote a series of books about Indians and how they live and all that. He never stepped foot in the United States. Yet it's one of the most famous
Sounds
books.
like the Yankee Marshal.
I'm telling you, Google that shit. And try to find the movies. They're awesome movies. They're really nicely done. And the way where they shot the movies in former Yugoslavia, you would swear it's done somewhere over here in Utah or whatever.
Cool.
Let me see if I can find.
What's that propaganda movie you talk about?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a propaganda because it was done by the West Germany.
Okay.
You know, so it wasn't. It was basically done by the capitalist.
Got it.
Okay, so here's a good question. When is the TANF officially over? So it's going to be over next weekend. We need to lay a time up, the exact time on Sunday that it's clocked off.
When your show starts.
All right, so 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock for Mario.
3 hours, bro.
Dude, did you paint your fucking nails?
You look painted.
No, that's
Dude,
just
you just as bad at what the fuck?
that's just how dark my skin is and the white of the nails. See,
Oh.
it's
It was
just
kind of peachy a minute ago.
Yeah, you looked a little fruity there, buddy.
All right, so the official
3 more
judge,
hours than me.
the official judge. Now that's the next one. If we can get the Bearded CB in here, Bearded CB will be the official judge.
Bearded CB.
Simply because it's not good. It's not fair for me to judge because I already know how dark he can get, and I know how dark you are already.
It's not fair to me to judge because, well, I don't know darkness.
Yeah, and you
But
suck
Bearded
at
CB, you are
Sunday.
recruited and you were required to be the judge next week.
throw a biatch in there, more official. Biatch, you better be here.
You have been told by the battle beam, biatch.
Biatch.
now. Hey, Mario.
Yes.
Okay, like Home Depot stuff where you can have paint mixed and those color cards with different shades. Well, can you go to Home Depot and get a set and see where you match up with a color card? Because
Get the fuck out of here, that bullshit. I'm not gonna bring a glidden wall.
The thing that I actually want to know.
Oh my god, do I look this way here? Oh my god.
No, you should have your wife come with you and do a video. And she'd be comparing swatches to your face.
Here's the thing. So Bearded CB82 can judge this however he wants. He can ask you to raise your hand. He can ask you to turn your head. whatever he wants.
I'm
It's
not
his-
showing my butt.
he's the judge.
Yeah.
So
Well,
Hey,
but
make sure
how are we going? How are we going to have
Daniel-
Daniel have good enough light to where we can see what Daniel actually looks like? Just for some oddball reason. I mean,
now he's gonna get. See that you talking shit now. Look, his LED lights work. Wow, look at that. You got shiny.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I'll make sure he's got a little bit better light.
Doesn't he look cute when he's angry? He's so cute. Look at him.
Obviously, you don't realize who you're messing with.
Pedenza. Pedenza.
The horror.
All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and go through the room. We'll end this. We're losing people left, right, and center. But CB, you got your task, so I want you to put together. Let's see. Should we say 6 different things as to 6 different factors in this challenge?
can't be 6. Can't be 6. Got to be an odd number so that there can't be a tie.
All right, let's do 5.
Well, hey,
5 categories, bearded.
5 categories. Damn.
So you got 5. You got till next week to come up with those 5, brother. All right.
Hopefully
That being said, we'll start going through the room, and we'll start with Daniel in the dark.
Huh? What are we doing? Are we saying goodnight?
We're saying good night.
Boy, it's a good thing it's
Good
not a hearing contest.
Fuck.
I wasn't paying attention to him, you know. What's the rules again? Hey, thanks. Well, thanks for having me on, and looking forward to next Sunday when I really embarrass Mario, because this is only 1 shade darker. I got 4 levels
You got Punjabi fucking dark. Thank you. Come again.
darker.
Y'all are gonna owe me money, and then I'm gonna go split it with Daniel.
I want that gun. I want that gun. I want that gun.
All right, the battle beam.
Hey. Hey man, thanks for having me on. Thanks side chat panel. You guys are awesome. You guys rocked it tonight. We had like 41 people looking at our ugly asses. Good shit. That's what I like about it. Thank you to all of our good friends out there who are really cool about this whole TANoff thing, and I think it's a good thing. And it's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to Bearded CV coming out with some shit. Although I have a little bit of bias because he's a Navy guy. But you know what? I'm not gonna try to be fucking controversial here. We're gonna take the benefit of the doubt, and we're gonna make sure that Brandon is fucking fair and impartial in this shit. Just saying. I'm gonna call your ass out, bitch. Better be. That's all I got. Much love, guys.
All right, always good to have you, man. Appreciate you showing up. Professional, amateur.
Well, thanks for having me. For the record, I'm not Russian. And I'm looking forward to the day when I can see Daniel reveal his true identity and say, "Hello, welcome to customer support. My name is Daniel."
Dude, that was horrible, but go for it.
Yeah, look who's talking.
My name is Bob. How may I help you?
Thank you. Please come again.
All right, and our grumpy orange man. What's going on, brother?
Yeah, not much. I'm obviously here and not there, other end of the state right now. Got a few things to take care of. Not a whole lot of time for videos. Looking forward to seeing. I really predict this guy right here just going to be like 3 more shades darker than he is now. And Mario, it's just too hot for you to get darker. Just don't see it happening. But I look forward to being back for that next week. I want to see it again. And there might be a new family member coming in here sometime this week for my daughter. That's part of why I'm still over here. So those of you who follow her, it's about time for her own horse. So there you go. That's me in a nutshell.
Awesome, brother. We'll talk this week. We'll probably talk tomorrow. And all right, with that being said, guys, I appreciate everyone out there. We had an awesome chat. We had side chat was rocking and rolling. You guys always do. We appreciate you out there very much. And with that being said, we'll jump to the L&B Pro.
Oh man, I am actually looking forward to this coming week. This week is the last week that I am my boss's boss, or my boss. My boss is coming back from active duty at the end of this week, and I am glad.
Watch him take some more leaves. And fuck you, you're in charge.
One of the other things that I'd like to know before we close, and I don't need an answer to this, is why RTT Guns isn't darker than both you fuckers with as much time as he spends out in the desert.
Hey,
Anyway,
don't
with
do
that
RTT.
said,
No.
man, it's been a great chat. I'm glad that we were able to get off onto there. There's something that I've been invited to next weekend, and I hope to be able to make that.
The
And
Blue Oyster Party?
yeah, just a little get together, just a little get
Okay.
together. And other than that, I'm still waiting for stuff to come in. Companies are being slow at the moment, but there's going to be some stuff coming in that's going to create some videos for me. Other than that, keep the old magazines loaded and one in the chamber. Thanks, everybody. Glad everybody was here. We're out. Whoa!